Hi, Godzo Medicine PlayStation and Medic Maniac YouTube. Bit of Dead or Alive 6. I'm a huge Dead or Alive fan. Been playing it since OG Xbox and 3. And of course 2 Ultimate, which included 1 as well. And then I've got Dreamcast version of 2 and PS2 version of 2. Dimensions on my 3DS and 4 on my 360. 5 on my 360, 5 Ultimate on my 360, 5 Last Round on my PS4, and here we are with this copy of 6. A few pictures and stuff before I get into a time attack on Legend difficulty. Just been playing around with 6. Quite disappointed how 6 turned out, really, as a lot of DOA fans were. Hopefully Tecmo will be able to work on Dead or Alive, and hopefully the political scenario will mean that games can actually be uncensored and proper, instead of all this ESG bullshit. So yeah, difficult times for games. Got a few screenshots. That reminds me of the old Xbox advert for Dead or Alive 3 with the I only played for the fighting, and she kicks high. But yeah, had a few little fights to get some good pictures. Rachel, obviously, from Ninja Gaiden. Love Ninja Gaiden, as well as Dead or Alive. Really big fan of Tomonobu Tagaki's work on Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. Not so much of a fan of 3. So here we go then, bit of survival. This is all pre-done, so I'm just recording my voice over the top of this. Legend difficulty, and my favourite fighter, which is Christie. I absolutely love Christie, and I love the Dead or Alive Extreme games as well, for the fact that when you as a player bond with your fighter, you can, play, look after them, put suntan lotion on them and stuff like that in Dead or Alive Extreme games, and that connection that you get as a player with the love that you have for your character and their animations and everything, and their moves and the way that you fight with them, and the pad just feels like an extension of your hand, doesn't it, when you really get one with your character. And you can take that affinity that you get in Dead or Alive, that you built up in your Dead or Alive games, and share that love with your character in the Extreme games. I think they're really, really good. Obviously Dead or Alive Extreme 3 is not as good as 2. 2 was really cool with the jet skiing and that. But Tamaki there, I've got Dead or Alive Extreme games on 360, obviously on this PlayStation. You had to order it in, didn't you? They made it only available in Japan. But I can't get any of the DLC for the Lei Fang and the other character on Dead or Alive Extreme 3 because of just the UK storefront. So that's shut off from me, unfortunately. I've got a couple of little Dead or Alive figures as well, one of Lei Fang and one of Ayane, and I've got Ryu Hayabusa figure, an Ayane figure, quite big figures, and Rachel figure, and I was going to be getting a courier figure, the Shrine Maiden from Ninja Gaiden 1, but unfortunately there was a problem, and the boat that it was on, sank. So I never got one. Unfortunate that. Absolutely love DOA and Ninja Gaiden. Huge fan. There's a way of playing against AI, and then a completely different way against playing against humans, and I'm so used to playing against AI, so I'm rubbish at playing against humans. I can't work out the spacing or anything. I'm not really that great at, like, some players, they study animations of characters and they know, you know, opposition characters, they know what the animations are going to do. I just go off, you know, playing it and playing it over the years, and obviously some things have changed in moves and movesets of characters over the years, and characters being added and stuff, so I'm not really one to study to fight, you know, competitively. I don't do that. I just have my love for my character Christie, who I absolutely adore, and yeah, my years of playing DOA, which I believe is the best fighting game ever, because it allows the player to flow in defense and transition through to attack, obviously with the triangle system that it's had, you know. And that and Soul Calibur with the, you know, the way that you can offensively and defensively parry stuff in Soul Calibur. I think those two, DOA and Soul Calibur, are my favourite fighting games, with DOA being my clear favourite. So in Soul Calibur I like to use Ivy and Taki, and in DOA I really like using Christie. And my daughter, nicely, she has a great affinity with Helena, so we can tag up in the Dead or Alive games that have tag and play Christie and Helena versus AI opponents, which is really nice. We've had a lot of fun times over the years doing that. That last kick won't work there because she's up against the rope, so you should use that. Yeah. The way of fighting against the AI. It does get quite repetitive fighting AI though, because of the way that it is. I didn't really like the break holes and everything. I'm not really up to speed on using that and integrating it in my gameplay. My daughter can do it much better than I can, but I just didn't really get into this game like I did with 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 Ultimate or any of the others. I think this is the poorest interpretation of DOA, sadly, and I was really looking forward to it as well. I think it's probably my biggest gaming disappointment of, you know, how games turned out on PS4, and I really don't like the new characters Nico and Diego. I'm not a fan of Marie, Rose or Honoka either. I don't believe they really fit in the DOA universe. It's much like, for me, it feels like when they tried to replace the characters in Soul Calibur 5 and they just, you know, said, right, we're going to make all these characters younger, and it just feels a bit like that. Diego's moveset and Nico's moveset are really not fleshed out. They just feel like characters that could be in some kind of obscure 2D fighting game somewhere that has, you know, only a few players. I really don't like them at all. Anyway, I suppose they serve the purpose of, you know, you can give them a good kicking. They're good punch bags, but they shouldn't be in DOA games. I like the crossover though with SNK, and I was hoping for a few more SNK characters perhaps in DOA. I liked the crossover with Virtua Fighter as well in 5, so that was good. Enjoyed the last Virtua Fighter. You can play it on PS4 as well. So DOA's more playable for me because, like I say, of the triangle system. Yeah, mine's a really good interpretation, I think. I think they've done her really well. She's very fun to play as well. Not brilliant with her. But the characters I get on with in DOA most of all are obviously Christie, and I really like Mila. Mila's really, really good. So I know a little bit with Mila, but I'm not as proficient as I am with Christie. And I'm starting to like Kasumi a bit, although this version in 6 seems to be her most fleshed out version, and they've changed a bit with her so she can do a lot more. Unfortunately, the arenas in this game are smaller than they have been previously in other games, and the level that you can float an opponent has been reduced, and also opponents fall down quicker now in this game, so that means that some of the longer combos that I was able to do in the other games I can't do in this, because they've changed it a lot, both in terms of arenas and mechanically how the game works. So those were a lot of the reasons why it wasn't a favourite of other people as well. And also this version of DOA sadly does not have tag. It was going to be in the game, but they were going to milk the fans even more and release it as DLC, unless it was going to be a free update. But the DLC prices for the costumes are ridiculous. Back in the day, on OG Xbox, and you just unlocked the costumes just by playing the game. So no transactions necessary, you just unlock the costumes. And the other great thing about the OG Xbox Dead or Alive was, in your save file for Dead or Alive 3, your save data would carry over and affects the affinities of the relationships with the girls in Dead or Alive Extreme. So when you tagged up in survival with the girls and partnered with the girls and played survival a lot with the different tag partnerships with the girls, that would affect their affinity in the game of Dead or Alive Extreme. So it had a crossover effect with your save data, which was great. And the same applied to the Xbox 360 version and Dead or Alive 4 and Dead or Alive Extreme 2. I love little touches like that for the game. Those are great. I don't know if the same applies to this game and Dead or Alive Extreme 3. I don't know at all. But anyway, 8th opponent, so coming near the end of this video on my waffle. And Marie Rose bites the dust. So I get my new best time for Legend Time Attack. So there you go. Pictures, gameplay, and unnecessary waffle. Whatever you're doing, take care.